Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the Fimi X8 Mini version 2, the 2023 version. This is part 3 in our series with this drone. I'm going to try and get through some more of the intelligent flight modes with this guy today. I'm out at Kleiner Park. In the last video, we looked at waypoint missions and we looked at tracking. In this one, we're going to look at the one-shots, which is what Fimi calls their intelligent flight modes. They have another one that's called drifting, I think drift mode, so I'm not sure what that's all about. We'll check that out and see what that is. But we'll also take a look at search and rescue mode that allows you to do digital zoom. If we have time, we'll do maybe a couple of panorama pictures. There's also a hyperlapse feature. I don't know if we'll have enough battery time for that. I do have a second battery, so maybe we will. We'll see if we can get through all of that and show you the features of this drone. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to editorialize a little bit about the pluses and minuses of this product. I like the drone, but there are some things that you need to know about it if you're thinking about buying one. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, so we've got the drone fired up and the controller fired up, and I can see here that it's saying we're ready to go. It's giving us normal. I like this pre-flight page that automatically comes up on the app when you're getting ready to take off. It shows our return to home, height, etc. It always gives me that card error. I don't know. I'm going to format the card, and we're also going to get probably an error then too. So I'm going to click format, and yeah, suggest that you format unrecognized SD card. So we're going to format, and it gave us a timeout error. Does that every time. In the past, it hasn't affected it from recording. So that's just that's one of those Fimi quirks that if you fly enough Fimi drones, I think I get that on every one of them. So don't know why that is. Let's go into the menu here, and we can check again. We can see that it's not asking for a compass calibration. We see we're in the green there, and let's take a, well, we do have, I want to point out we've got precise landing on, so we'll see if we can get a precision landing. And let's go ahead and click on the camera here, and I'm going to leave the video quality in medium, and in fact I may even go, well, no, we'll leave it in medium. One of the things that I've noticed is that when you're in high quality video, or even in shooting in 4K, it uses a lot of processing power and causes some issues. But you know what? We're just going to leave it in medium and see how it looks. And everything else is in automatic here, so we are good to go there. We could have formatted that card there again if we wanted to. In fact, I'll show you that, and we will get the same error, just to show you how these are just idiosyncrasies of Fimi drones, and everybody that flies them knows this. So we are going to format the card. And by the way, this is a SanDisk Extreme, so it's a high quality, high speed card. So let's click format, and we're going to click format again, and yeah, we got that same timeout message. So I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead. We are in video mode, 4K 30. Medium video quality. We're going to start recording now, and let's go ahead and take off, and we're going to do an automated takeoff. And yeah, you can see it. I just turned the camera so that you could exactly see the drone, and you'll see we're at the landing pad's at a little bit of an angle there. It's just kind of a location that I found here. So let's go ahead and hit that slider. And it didn't go, so let's do that one more time. We're hitting that slider, maybe. There it goes. So the drone, if you read the manual, it says the drone will go 4 meters high, but as you can see, it stopped at about 2.2 meters high. So anyway, yeah, whatever's fair. I think the first time I flew it, it went up 3 meters high. So you know, it's just another one of those quirks. You know, they tell you one thing and then something else. And I'm watching the drone. It's moving around a little bit. We've got a little bit of a breeze. Let's bring it in here. we can bring it in closer and get a look at it here. So back it up a little bit, bring it down just a little bit. I want to bring it back and forth in front of the camera so you can see it working. Hey, okay, so I didn't have the Action 2 camera on. I just turned it on just now. So I've got the drone in up close, so let's jack it back and forth so you can see that gimbal in action. What you guys just saw was probably the screen recording and the video from the drone, because I didn't have the Action 2 on. But anyway, no big deal. It's time to do our droney. So I got some people walking by in front of me, and as soon as they go by, we are going to do a droney with this guy, and you're going to see that this is a pretty quick, powerful little drone. We got some trees here. We're going to go right in between some trees. So reverse and up now, reverse and up, and off it goes. It climbs very, very quickly, and you can see one of the things I like about it is that it shows us the home point on the app, which I think is handy. And you can see it's a nice sunny day here. Let me pick that camera back up. The horizon's looking pretty darn good. Let's see if we can do a slow yaw around here. That's one of the things I keep meaning to adjust, is the yaw rate on this guy, because it's really fast. But I just want to show you what kind of a day we've got in the park here and just kind of give you a look around. It is a nice day. Lots of cars. It is about, I don't know, probably 11:30 noon or so. And we're supposed to get up to 90 degrees today. So it's definitely, we went from winter to summer, and you'll see a lot of these trees don't even have any leaves on them yet. They barely got buds. And in fact, let's look at the Boise front there, and you can see the snow level. The snow line has definitely risen up. So this is probably an opportunity for us to go into SAR mode and do some zooming. This is a good time to do that. So let's click. I clicked on that little, looks like an Android character on the bottom right of the screen. And at the very bottom here, we're going to see SAR mode. Let me click on that. And it shows real-time coordinates and supports digital zoom. So we're going to click OK. And you can see at the very top of the screen there, you can see the coordinates, the GPS coordinates. And as the slider, there's a slider on the left-hand side of the screen here. And let me see if I can do very smooth. It's not looking very smooth on my FPV feed, I can tell you that. Yeah, use the slider to zoom. Well, I am, and it's not looking that great. Whoops, I accidentally hit the button and stopped recording. That's probably lucky. So okay, so we're back down. I dropped that slider back to the bottom. Let's start recording again now. Maybe. Well, I'm going to hit that on the controller then. And for whatever reason, it's not letting me record. So we're going to get out of SAR mode. That wasn't successful at all. Okay, let's try recording again. Yeah, guys, I don't know what's going on here. I cannot start recording. So I switched into camera mode. Well, let's just take the opportunity to take a picture then. How about that? And I don't know if we took a picture there, but I hit the button on the side of the controller. Let's try it one more time on the app. Yeah, I've got something going on here that it is not, that touch button on the app does not seem to be working. Start recording again. Yeah, guys, I don't know what to say here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the app here, because definitely something went wacko there. So I'm going to get out of this app real quick. We are going to shut it down, and I'm going to start it back up. And see what goes on. Enter device. And yeah, be careful to fly. We are already flying. So there we are again. Let's see if we can start recording. Yeah, guys, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to bring the drone back and see if we can get a landing here. And we'll restart everything and try again. But I could not start recording again, and I'm not even sure that we were able to take a picture. And it went really just wacko when we went into search and rescue mode there. So I don't know what's going on. So the drone is coming back, albeit fairly slowly. And you know, the FPV feed is a little bit jerky. You can see where I'm standing there, and you can see where the landing pad is. Let's see how close it gets, see if we can keep it from landing in a tree. Because it seems to be right next to that tree now. Yeah, now it's moving off a little bit. Landing pad detected. So let's just see what it does here. It's going to miss the tree. Let's see if it gets a landing pad. It's the landing pad. Well, that's kind of an auspicious start. But we'll see. Yeah, now it says landing pad not detected. So, so much for precision landing as well. We had precise landing on. I am just going to let it land in the grass. It's not going to hurt a thing. The grass isn't that long. I'll power cycle everything. I'm going to shut everything down, start everything back up, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's not good. These kind of problems are frustrating. Okay, I power cycled the drone, shut everything off, turned it all back on. Let's see if we can start recording. Whoop, I hit it and then I turned it right off. One more time. Okay, we were able to start recording, so that's really odd. I don't know what happened there. We're gonna do a manual takeoff here. Both sticks down and in, and then up on that left stick. And we are gonna just take right off here. This is a quick little drone, so let's drop that camera down again, and we're going to try that SAR mode again one more time. So in fact, let's move forward here. Let's get on the other side of the road. And there we are. We're looking at the Boise front. Let's go back into that search and rescue mode, which is, again, click on that little Android looking character at the bottom. And we're at the very bottom. We're going to see SAR. We clicked on that, clicked OK, and so we're in that mode. And we should be able to, this slider on the left-hand side of the screen, slide up for zoom, and then you can see it's freaking out. And I don't know what's being recorded on the SD card, but I can tell you it is useless on the FPV feed. I mean, all I got was a bunch of blinking. You'll see that on the screen recording. One thing about it is we're still recording now, so if it recorded any zoom or not, I can't tell you, but we're going to get out of that. So I'm going to say SAR mode on this drone is a bust. So we are going to get out of there. It says it's a quick shot. No, it's not. We're going to get out of there. And let's go over. And speaking of quick shots, let's try some of that. And you know what? I'm going to go into the app here, and I'm going to click on control and see if I can slow down that yaw. No, it's not there. I know there is a place in the controls here where you can adjust. Well, there's gain and expo. So let's go ahead and look in there. Sensitivity. That's what we want. So yaw, we are gonna yaw sensitivity. We're gonna slow that down. Let's put it down to 25% and see if that helps. 25% right there, and then let me try that yaw. And yeah, that helps. So it just doesn't take off quite as quickly on that yaw. Okay, so enough of that. Let's get out here and let's see if we can try some of the flight modes with it. We're down to 58% battery, so we're burning through this battery really fast. And that's what happens when you have problems like that. So, yeah, anyway, just letting you know. Okay, let's get out here over the pond and point down at the fountain. We'll use that as a point of interest. I'm going to click on that little Android again. And we have, I thought that their one shots or quick shots or whatever they call them were all in one area, but they're not. So we have orbit and tap fly. So I'm missing something here. I am not seeing the one that they called drift mode. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's do slider here. So we're going to set a central point, and yeah, so in this case I need to fly over the top of it, and so let's do that. Let's fly over the top of the fountain here, and I like how it has that target on there. It gives you a chance to do that, and let's see if we can get pretty close to over the center of it here. Yeah, that's going to be close enough, and we're going to set that as the center. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to move back here a little ways. And as soon as we move back far enough, you can see that distance meter turned, we need to be a little closer. It turned white instead of red. If you're within 5 meters, you can't start it if you're within 5 meters. So let's get a little bit closer. Okay, that's good right there. Little about 17 meters away. We're going to click on that top arrow that's pointed to the right. That'll get us in the next mode. It'll tell us we can set the radius. Let's go out there a ways. That's probably a little bit much. Let's go out 50 meters or so. Well, there's 49.4. That's going to have to do. Clockwise and auto return. That means it'll return back to its starting point. And let's click go. So it tells us it tells us right there. It should be, the distance away should be greater than 5 meters, less than 200 meters, and the height needs to be over 3 meters. So those are the parameters. Let's click go, and it should start its spiral here. And maybe I needed to set that home point. Did I need to? Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I messed up there. I don't know what I did, but you know what? I didn't set. So we're going to stop this. That was my mistake. The way this guy works, let's go back. You have to tell it yeah, I think you have to tell it to keep the camera in a certain location. So let's go back over the top of this guy. Sorry about this, guys. Let's lower some altitude here. Okay, so I'm going to go back in there. Sorry about that, but I always show the real deal, mistakes and all. So there, we're going to go back in there. We're going to set that center point and click OK. And they are warning you that, so we're going to click Settings Center. And then we're going to back it up here a little ways. You know, we're just going to leave it right there, and then I'm going to click that next arrow. And radius, we're going to crank that up again. And I do want auto return, and I want clockwise. But I thought there was another setting here that told it to keep the camera on the point of interest. I'm telling you guys, I am doing something wrong. Okay, we are going to spiral center. Yeah, we're doing something wrong here. I am going to get out of that. We're going to try it one more time because we want it to keep the camera on that point of interest. So I stopped that. We're going to fly back over the top of of this guy. And too far, of course. Back it up just a little bit. I got too carried away there. Let me see if I can set that as a center point. I'm trying to use the touch screen to set it as a center point, and it's not working. You know what? This is interesting. I know there is a way. I know on the other drone there's a way to keep that camera and the drone pointed the same direction. So we're going to click OK. Please fly over the top to set the center. We did that. We're going to click OK, setting center. And we are going to back up and pick that camera up. We're going to run out of battery here if I keep messing around here too long. And click on that arrow, and it's giving us the radius. Let's crank that up a little bit. Auto return, we want that on. I see no way. I wonder if I need to be lower to select a point of interest. This is odd. Yeah, well, okay, we're going to go back. We've got our point of interest set. We're going to click, I'm going to grab some more altitude. We're going to click go, and we're going to get what we're going to get here, guys. So, so it's starting, and I saw a target there for a second, but it didn't. Yeah, let's try to click on that target. Yeah, and then we got a red dot there. Guys, I just don't know. I'm going to pick the camera up. So I'm staying on the fountain there. That was me manually picking up the camera. I didn't see how we could set a point of interest there, but we are definitely getting a spiral here. And it completed it, and it should be now returning to its original point. Let's pick that camera back up. And we are almost into return to home time here, let me tell you. I guess I don't know if it's still spiraling or what. It said that it completed it, so I don't know. Yeah, okay, so it is returning to its original spot here. Guys, that was pretty weird. So, spiral mission completed, it said. It's back to its original spot. Well, okay. Let's see if we can do an orbit then. We're probably going to run out. Yeah, we may or may not have enough battery here. I'm going to see if I can do an orbit. Yeah, low battery. Please land ASAP. Let's do a return to home. Let's see if we can get another precision landing. I've got another battery, so we'll throw another battery in it. And yeah, so far this flight's kind of a bust. Yeah, I mean, there must be a way to select that point of interest in that spiral, but anyway. So I'm going to leave the camera where it is. I was lowering the camera. I'm going to stop lowering the camera, and it should drop that camera by itself as it tries for a precision landing here. And I'm glad I brought another battery. So we'll throw another battery in there, and we'll try some more stuff. Yeah, we don't want it landing in the tree here. Let's see. Landing pad detected, so let's see if it moves itself over. Yeah, okay. Okay, maybe. At least it's not going to hit the tree now. Landing pad detected. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Landing pad detected. Landing pad not detected. Well, it can't decide if it sees it or not. Now it sees it again. Well, there we go. Okay, it's pretty close. You're seeing that on the camera. Yeah, I think it's going to be on the pad. Hey, look at that. We got a precision landing. Yeah, it moved off a little bit. Took it a second to kill the motors, but hey, I'm going to call that a win. Okay, and it stopped recording by itself. Give me a second to, I'm going to just try and hot swap the battery, and we'll see how we do. So what I mean by hot swap is I'm going to leave the controller on, the app on, everything, and just shut down the drone and pull this battery out. And then we're gonna put another battery in there, and we'll try it one more time. fire the drone back up and see if we reconnect. So there we go. It connected, or at least I have an FPV feed. It still says disconnected on here. Yeah, cannot take off. So it's looking for satellites. It's going to find them pretty quickly. Gimbal not ready. 19 sats. We should get the go any second now. Yeah, there we go. It says we're good to go. So let's go ahead and start recording. And we're going to do another automated takeoff. Should go up 2.2 meters high. Okay, let's go straight up. And drop that camera down and turn around here, yaw around the other direction here. Let's go to the other end of the park here and try some other stuff. So let's grab some altitude, and you can see a lot of these trees still. Let me drop the camera down. They are just starting to get some leaves on them, the dogwoods, but there's so many of these trees. I mean, look at all these trees. It's going to be 90 degrees today, and there's no leaves on these trees. It's weird. It just went from winter to summer overnight. Pretty strange. So yeah, let's go over to the other end of the park here, and let's go to the sculpture on the other end, and let's see if we can do a circle flight. And you can see this is a speedy little drone. You know, we're at 15 meters per second. And this is in normal mode. If you put this guy in sport mode, it really moves out. So let's go ahead and grab a little more altitude. Drop that camera down. And move over we're going to move over the top of the sculpture. So what it's going to want us to do is, I see some people sitting in that right there. So we're going to not go over the top of them on that bench, but we're going to go over the top of the sculpture. Well, first let's click on that little Android icon again, and we're going to go into orbit and click on that. And so we need to set the waypoint and set what the heck, returning home. What is that all about? Fail-safe return, it said. I don't know what happened there, guys. We don't want to do that. That was strange. Well, maybe we had a disconnect. In fact, I looked and I had some anomalies on the. We're not that far away that we should be having disconnects. But I saw on both the signal strength meters that it was off a little bit. So I grabbed some more height. Let's move forward again. Try that one more time. Pulling that camera straight down. We're going to go back into orbit again. And if setting a point of interest, the heading will be locked at the point of interest, which is what we want to do. Which you do typically you do that by drawing on the screen. With the spiral, I was unable to do that, so I don't know. So we're gonna set the center here, and I had a little blink on the FPV feed there. Okay, so that is pretty close to being center, and so radius is 0. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I thought I'd see if I could draw a point of interest on there, but I couldn't. I think the center should be the point of interest. So let's back it up here, and well, you know what? Well, yeah, fail-safe return. It's weird. We're losing connection, and it happens just all of a sudden. So let's stop that. I mean, we go from full signal strength to nothing. That is just weird. Okay, I'm going to move it someplace a little closer to us. That's another anomaly that I'm not happy with. That shouldn't happen. We were not that far away. Let's go. In fact, we'll just go over the pond that's right in front of me here, and we'll do that orbit one more time here. So we'll set a real wide orbit. And so let me go over the top of this fountain. Gosh, I was high enough that we really shouldn't have been having those signal issues. And it's weird the way it just dropped out all of a sudden. Don't know what to say. Okay, so we're over the top. Clicking on that Android again. We're going to click orbit. I'm bound and determined to show you guys how this works. So there we go. So let's make sure we're in the center, setting center. And you know, you'll see the radius says 0. We have to back it up. Well, now look at that. It's not giving me usually it's in the red until it finds a good you know, you have to back it up more than 5 meters, I guess is what I was trying to say. But we're going to do a great big orbit here, and we're up there. So we're setting radius now. And we're going to, now this is what I thought I was missing. We're going to put center here, the heading. Free the camera, you can just yaw the drone however you want. We're going to click center, and it'll keep the camera on the center. That's what I was looking for in the spiral and didn't see it. We're going to go clockwise. Let's go pretty quick because this is going to be a big radius. Let's click it up to about 8 meters per second here. And we're going to click go, and it should go clockwise here in an orbit. And it's starting. And we've got 21 satellites, 20 satellites, which is good, and it's doing a good orbit here. And it's starting to speed up. Yeah, it's hitting that 8 meters per second, so which is exactly what we told it to do. And look at it's putting some targets on the screen. So that's what's kind of interesting, is that I didn't get those when we were trying to do the spiral. And so the AI is trying to show us targets now, but that you can set as a point of interest. Okay, so what I'm not sure about this is, does it stop at one orbit, or will it continue to orbit until we tell it to stop? I can't remember on Fimi. So we'll see. And yeah, it looks like it's still going here, because I think that's where we started. So I'm going to pick that camera up a little bit as we go here, so you can get a little different version. This is kind of cool. It's giving us a big orbit, and with that camera up, you're kind of getting a view of the territory. Things are starting to green up a little bit. And again, look at that. It's picking targets there. You saw the little plus sign on my car and that other car over there. So the AI is working. It's just weird that it didn't. I couldn't set that point of interest earlier. Okay, so we're going to stop that orbit. We've seen enough of that. We're out of that. Let's go back into that menu. And what else do we have? We've got tap fly. But you can choose a target for the drone. Will fly over there at a default speed, and you can lock it on the point of interest. So let's try that and see what we can do. I think we're probably too high here. Let's drop the drone down. And it was trying to recognize a point of interest before. Remember, it was looking at the cars. In fact, let me see if I can get a point of interest on my own car here. Back over here the other way. You can see that it gives us that H on there, and of course now we're not getting a point of interest, right? So let's click OK. Tap to choose a destination. So what I'm going to do is I am going to have it go kind of over the side of the park over here. And so we did that. Let's click next. And there is the, it says it'll take it 45 seconds at 3 meters per second. So let's just do that. Well, let's crank it up a little. That's probably a little slow. Let's crank it up to about 5 meters per second. It's not going very far, and it should be able to get that done pretty quick. So we're going to click go, and yeah, it's go ahead and starting. But you know, here's what I couldn't do, is I wanted to set a point of interest. Now I've got those plus signs. Let me see if I can click on one. There we go. So once it started, I was able to click on a point of interest, and it's keeping the camera on that. That's a car over there on the other side. But it's kind of interesting that I couldn't get that till I already started the tap fly. But now it's doing it, and it'll get to its location. Okay, let's try that one more time. Fly mission completed. Let's go the other way. And let me point it back towards me. And picking that camera up, and I'll see if I can if I can select my own car as a point of interest this time. I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to do it. So let's click tap fly again. And we're going to click if set a point of interest will be locked. But I'm trying to set it now. Tap to choose the destination. Let's get that map out where we can choose that destination. Let's put that destination. Let's go all the way over here. And I'm going to see if I can, you know, from what I'm seeing so far, the only way I can set a point of interest is, I wonder if I can click here and set the point of interest. Clicking on my car, nope. So we're going to go back. And yeah, so we set the flight speed. Let's speed it up just a little. And we're going to click go, and I'll see if I can select a point of interest after I click go. Yeah, I tried, and we kind of roughly got it. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't know what it's looking at here. But is it even going? Well, so let's go back into tap fly. Yeah, it's moving. Okay. So, yeah, we kind of got it to select a point of interest, but you need to be able to pre-select that, and I didn't see a way that it would allow me to do that. So that's interesting, but it's doing the tap fly. So think of the tap fly as just kind of one leg of a waypoint mission, but it's kind of cool. That's an automated way that you can stay on a target. And now it lost it. You know, it got far enough away that it lost it, and so now it's wandering. It's not staying on the point of interest. So there you go. You know, how much use are you going to get out of that? Probably not. It's probably not terribly useful. So there's some limitations. Okay, so now they advertised a feature called drift mode. And I didn't see it in the menu there, but we're going to look as soon as this is done with this tap fly here, which it should just about be at the end of it. Yeah, and it did again. It lost the point of interest. So I don't know. I'm just going to tell you, not much point in that. You know what? I see a little icon down here on the left-hand side of the screen. What happens if I hit that? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, tap fly mission. There was a little blue square on the bottom left. I tried to tap it and I didn't see anything there. So, okay, we are burning through battery pretty quick. We're down to 45% battery here, so we're not going to get much done. Let's see if what else we've got here. Excuse me, in the menu here, spiral, cinematic mode, tripod. Course lock, and of course fixed wing. I wonder if slide could be in the photo modes. So let's go into camera and see if we can see. Maybe I thought maybe some of those might be in the camera mode. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to switch to camera mode. Excuse me, to picture taking mode, maybe. There we go. Switch to picture taking mode. Let's go back into that camera menu. And we have the same selections there. Yeah, I thought maybe we would, I thought maybe that's where we would see the menu for doing panoramas and such. Maybe not. Let's click down here. Yeah, that just takes us into our camera roll. Let's click on camera icon. There we go. Okay, guys, I feel dumb. There we go. That's the menu. So it's been a while since I've flown this drone. I'm used to clicking on that little Android guy at the bottom. So here's the quick shots, and I am not going to have enough battery to do that. So video mode, yeah, it gives us the video lapse and quick shots, etc. So okay, let's see if we can get a quick shot done. I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to start recording again. And let's go forward, and let's gosh, you guys have seen that we are quickly running out of battery here. Let's go over here to the other end of this other sculpture, and we'll see if we can do some of those quick shots. So yeah, I'm not sure if we see that that slide mode. So I'm clicking on that camera icon. Must have to stop recording first. Stopping recording. Clicking on that camera icon. Let's click on quick shots, and there's the drifting flight. So please drag a rectangle around the shot. So we're going to do that. So we're going to do drifting flight. Clicking on that. Mode front, left, right. So we're going to leave it on front. And it wants us to drag, select the shooting target, and the aircraft will fly at uniform speed centered on the target. So yeah, so it has to recognize a target, I guess. Drag a rectangle. Yeah, I'm unable to do that. Let's try that again. There we go. We got a rectangle. Look at that. Okay, let's click go and see what happens here. It's counting down. Well, it looks to me like even with a couple of batteries, I wasn't able to complete this, but it's doing what they call a drift, and we're almost into return to home mode. So we'll see how quickly it gets this done, and it's shooting this in 1080p, which I think it must default to that because that's how it does these kind of photo modes. So boy, how long will it take it to complete this? I have no idea. And it's going to go in auto return here anytime. And again, I'm not that far away, but I'm seeing my signal strength kind of drop out a little bit. So yeah, so what that was, I have no idea. And when will it end? We're going to find out. We'll just let it go into return to home. Yeah, I don't know. Is it? Yeah, it's still moving a little bit. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. So the countdown here, I've got an 02, the little blue countdown. I don't know what we got going here, guys. Yeah, 03 now it says. Yeah, and now we lost connection there for a second. Yeah, you know what, guys? I don't know what it's going to do, what it's doing, or when it completes it. But it's been doing it for 2 minutes, and I'm going to stop it. And drifting flight is completed. Yeah, that was pretty weird. Well, let me pick up the gimbal, and you can see it's going to go into return to home here. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's switch back into video mode here, if I can. Start video. No, switch it one more time. Start video. There we go, 4K 30 frames per second. Let's hit return to home on the controller. And it's coming back to us. And it was weird how it was blinking in and out of, you know, we're not very far away, and to be losing signal is kind of weird there. But let's see how well it finds us here and see if we can get a precision landing. And again, we did get one earlier, so that seems to be something that it's pretty good at. You can also see flight time. We're certainly not getting the 37 minutes of flight that they're saying you get with these batteries either. So let's see, it's about over the top of us. Let's see if it drops that camera down. And it should about any time now. There it goes. So let's see if it finds the landing pad again. Landing pad detected. Low battery, please land. Yeah, we're doing that. 14% battery. Like I said, battery power wise, landing pad is detected, but yet it's in the middle of the grass here. Landing pad not detected. Yeah, it's going to come down. It's going to come down in the grass. Not even close to that landing pad. That's me picking up the camera, so you guys can see where I'm at in relationship to the landing pad. And there we go. It came down in the grass. So I'm going to call that a fail as far as precision landing. Okay, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the Fimi X8 Mini version 2, 2023 version. This is part 3 of our series with this drone, and it looks like there's going to be a part 4. We went through 2 batteries and were unable to get through everything. A lot of that because of problems with the drone, and that is disheartening. I really want to be able to recommend this guy, but we had a lot of problems today. So initially we took off, we went out there, we flew out over, and I pointed it towards the Boise Mountains, the Boise front, and wanted to show you the zoom in search and rescue mode. Just didn't work, right? I mean, you saw on the screen recording it was blinking, and I zoomed clear in, and I think it went up to 10 times zoom or something, and back down. So whether that shows up on the video off the SD card or not, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I accidentally hit the record button on the RC and I stopped recording. So I tried to start recording, couldn't start recording. Tried to take a picture, couldn't take a picture. The screen was just frozen in that regard, so I brought it back, landed it, recycled the drone. Well, we had gone through a ton of the battery power by that point, so we took it off, tried again, tried search and rescue mode again, had the same issue. So I don't even know what to tell you. That is, as it is, it's virtually useless. Doesn't work. So then we tried a spiral, and what I couldn't get that spiral to do initially was to select a point of interest. I couldn't draw that circle on the screen. Tried to do it, couldn't do it. First spiral we tried, the camera was just going free, so tried it again, and the second time we were more successful, but I was kind of manually yawing the drone to hold it on that fountain as the point of interest. But it did a spiral, it did okay. Then, you know, went out to do an orbit, and I went to the other end of the park here, and we kept getting disconnections, and we weren't that far away. It's disheartening. Rocklink 3 or 9 or whatever, it was supposed to go 9 kilometers. Yeah, we were about 300 meters away, and we were losing connection, and it would put it into auto return to home. So I couldn't do it out there. So I brought it back over here in front of me in the fountain here, and we were able to do an orbit there. But again, for whatever reason, I couldn't select that point of interest, so I just let it do the orbit. We tried course lock, and we had mixed results with that. Again, trying to set that point of interest before you start the course lock. I don't know how you do it. It didn't work for me. Once it started, it had those plus signs on there, recognized automobiles, and I was able to kind of draw a square, and it got a point of interest, and it held it for a while, and then it lost it. So then it finished its tap fly, excuse me, and I think I said course lock, that was tap fly, so it kind of worked, right? So there you go. That kind of works, kind of doesn't. And like pretty much all the functions we tried today. And then we tried the tap fly, which I think worked a little bit better. And then I finally got into their one shots or quick shots, whatever they call it. And I tried that drift mode. And I'm anxious to see what comes off the SD card here. All I could see was the drone moving forward slowly. All I could see on the FPV screen. And by that time, we were about running out of battery. So I stopped it before it finished. So I don't know, you guys, well, I don't know what that's supposed to do. But I can tell you this, I will do another flight and we'll go in and we'll do all of those one shots. We'll go in and try those. And in that camera menu is also where I found the panoramas and the time lapse. So we will try that stuff too. So there'll be a part 4. Maybe I'll have 3 batteries charged up before I do that flight, because we're liable to have maybe have some of the same kind of issues. So I'll take responsibility for you know, not knowing my way through around the app well enough to find those quick shots. The rest of the stuff, I don't know. Maybe it just takes more practice. So I'm going to editorialize a little bit about this drone. For $299, it's a decent product, and it has a lot of features. But there again, those features have to work. And as you saw today, some of them do, some of them don't. The waypoints that I did the other day, the tracking seemed to work okay. Where it seems to let you down is on the video quality. I've had video anomalies almost every time I've flown this drone. You saw the first flight, as it was landing, it did something weird on the video. Well, it hasn't done that since. However, the last time when I was doing tracking, I had it in point of interest mode tracking, and the video just skipped ahead. It just lost a bunch of frames. I don't know why. I'm assuming it's probably processing power, but it's an issue. So, you know, when you're doing those kind of things, maybe you ought to select a lower resolution. I was in 4K 30. You might have better luck in 1080p, etc. So, just a thought there. But I guess what I was hoping to be able to say is that I would recommend this drone if you're looking for a feature-rich product. I was going to recommend this drone over like the DJI Mini 2 SE, but I don't think I can now. With the problems that I saw today and with that together with the other video problems I had, you know, the features are great as long as they work. When they don't work, well, that's a problem. And they should be really intuitive and easy to use like they are, quite frankly, in the DJI Fly app. So, well, I'm not completely throwing the drone under the bus. There is some work that needs to be done before this is a real player. If you need those features, if you need waypoints and tracking, yeah, this is probably the one to get. But understand that you're giving up a lot of video quality to do it. The dynamic range just is not there in this little camera. You'll see, well, on my previous videos, when you go into a dark area, it just you can't see. It's just black, and so yeah, dynamic range is a problem. It just isn't the same kind of quality camera. Even though it shoots in 4K, I'll put the 2.7K on the Mini 2 SE up against this as far as quality any day of the week. So anyway, that's my feelings on the drone. You know, like I said, kind of a mixed review. I will do another video with this. We'll go through the rest of those quick shots and try and get some panoramas and time lapses in. And I'll charge a bunch of batteries to do that. So anyway, that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yeah, of course, we will see you on the next one. The Fimi X8 Mini version 2, 2023. See you guys later.